it's me, Nick, the super awesome drawer himself, and today I am back with another drawing tutorial. And today we are going to be doing another drawing tutorial, gaming edition, because you know this entire season is drawing tutorials gaming edition. And we are going to be drawing a Combine Gunship from Half-Life 2. Now the Combine Gunships are giant, weird creatures that have these helicopter rotors in the back. They usually serve as boss fights in most of the games, or most of the Half-Life 2 games, and you have to use the rocket launcher to defeat them. Now, what you're going to need, as usual, is the pencil, an eraser, I finally have one, and a ruler. Now, to start out with, we're not actually going to be needing the ruler very much because Combine Gunships have very organic looks to them. But what you can start out by doing is drawing a little curve right there. Now, this curve is going to get added on later on. Now, if I just adjust this a little bit more, now I'm going to come down here and go up. Now, that's also going to be extended on, and you will see what these are all for later. Now the curve is also going to get a little bit more, and you can see that's going to become sort of an oval. And this part is going to come down into this unusual little line. It's going to go down, and it's going to come back out here. Now I hope I've given myself enough space to work with that, because if not, that may be a slight problem, but I think I should just for this. Now over at the front of here, where you can see off the edge of my paper, you can draw a line like this to just end it off. And then you just go up and draw another line here. And this line is going to overhang into another line up here. And there's going to be this little curve right about there. And then there's going to be a big uprise right there. And that's where I'm going to break off for now. And then right about here, I'm going to draw a line over right here. Like that. And now right there, where I drew that oval, and I'm going to draw it around like here. You can see that looks like sort of an angry eyebrow. And I'm assuming that may be intentional because this oval right here is going to become the eye. And the reason this has an eye is because this is a Combine synth. And basically a synth is when the Combine take like a normal creature that's been on their home world and they start adding a bunch of robotic parts to it. And then they turn it into this giant big war creature, which is basically what a Combine Gunship is. So now that you have that, you can see it's a little creepy looking. You may want to draw those a little bit lighter and add a slight reflection in there so you can tell it is an eye. You are going to add a bit of an undercarriage, quote unquote, as I would call it, where you go down under here, and I'd recommend leaving a little space there, and you'll see why in a minute, and just continue up across right here to the front. And right when you get to the front, you're going to draw this little handle thingy right here. I think that's a pipe. Now, then there's this little dome bit. And then right here you're going to draw this very faint cone. Like, I guess if you even call it a cone, I just call it like a thin rectangle. You draw it upward. And that is basically the Combine Gunship's laser. And you can even continue the line right there. Right here, we're going to draw the fins the Combine Gunship uses to steer, because you don't play Half-Life 2. Just for those of you who don't, the Combine Gunships are flying enemies. So you're going to draw a little insectoid-type leg, and then you're going to draw this back here, which is going to connect to this triangle right here. I'm not going to make an Illuminati joke because I already did in the last episode. And do it like that, and you get that nice little fin shape. So now I have noted that before that a Combine Gunship head looks sort of like an insect head in reverse. And it kind of is because its eyes are behind what it uses to steer. And to add on to that, it actually has its antennae back here. And to draw the antennae, you're just going to draw that little line, and then you're going to draw a little cone into here and draw a little thingy right there. Not exactly sure what that is. And then you're going to continue this line up to here. Now, right up here, this is when you can sort of see the mechanization of the gunship without looking at the bottom. You're going to round those edges off, but split them into two sections. And then you're sort of going to draw these jet engines. And this is the gunship's exhaust ports for all the energy and stuff that if you run through it. And if I were drawing this from a bottom point of view, there would be like a bunch of pipes and stuff that were like running through. That was electronically stabilizing it. Now, in back, this is probably the hardest part to draw. You're going to come up here, and nope, that already does not look like it's going to work right. If I adjust my light. Ouch, that was hot. You come around like this, and on the other side too, and I'm going to change this line slightly, and I'm sorry I had the piece of paper around, and just to make sure I'm going to see what you're doing, I'm going to come around like that. Now, if I adjust the camera so you can see that, this is going to be the Combine Gunship's main rotor, because Combine Gunships propel themselves with this giant rotor in the back of them. So they're pretty cool. I recommend you look up the pictures of them if you don't know what they look like. And then you're going to come up back here like that, to give it some depth. And then you're going to come around by drawing the circle inside. And actually, you're not going to draw this completely a circle, because back here, I'm going to erase this just to make sure I see what you're doing. You're going to come around and give it this big weird, like, I don't know what you would call this, that belch out thing. And this is just going to be, actually it's helping to round this to a center point. And there, that's basically what you're going to do. And then you should also give that some depth. And then draw the little double line around here like that. Now basically what that is where the rotor is mounted. And to do the rotor, the gunships have three-bladed rotors. So what you just do is draw some little wavy lines right there, curved lines, to give it the impression that it's moving, and then draw some things around. But remember that the rotor is mounted underneath this giant thing, so don't actually draw something above that, because I did that by accident with one of my test drawings before I did the video. And now up here, there are also some smaller antennae, so you can just draw those and erase that little corner. Okay, so now that that's done, you can draw some designs on the Combine Gunship itself. So the starting thing that you should always do is the Combine logo or symbol. So to do that, you just do a circle, then you draw another circle around that circle. Then you draw a line through the circle. I'm going to say circle a lot. And then you draw these you draw this curve that comes straight down and make it block. And do the other curve. that comes straight down. And then you shade in the area around those curves in that rectangle. And that's how you do the Combine logo. And now, because it's supposed to be a living creature that's been cyberformed or something like that, you're just going to draw some little organic patterns on it that I kind of call like a bread pattern, where you just draw some little stripes on it, but like, don't make them perfect, just literally just make them scribbles, but give them character. And on the back, there also has stripes, so you can do that. And if you want, you can just add some little detail in there, or even draw a little ground to it, and the lighthouse where you first have to fight a Combine Gunship in Half-Life 2. And you can drop a sun like that, and some clouds around it. And in total, that is basically how you draw a Combine Gunship. I think it's a pretty good adaptation, or if you have a better one, you can tell me or post a video of it and tell me where to find it. But otherwise, that's pretty much it for this drawing video. It was a little quicker than they usually are, probably because I was able to get into a much more easier position to have the screen. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, leave a like, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!